A prayer that I said was, God, please remove anyone from my life who don't have my best interest at heart. Now, the way that some people was removed from my life is wild and OC, but I feel like he gave me certain signs about people and I ignored them. So things had to be escalated in a way that I had no choice but to step away from them, because the situation just got real. And once the situation got real, it was like, okay, Ty, what you about to do? What you really about to do? You about to stay and be hurt? You about to stay and be betrayed? You about to stay and not be appreciated by your worth? Or you about to just isolate yourself? So it came a point where I chose to just isolate myself. So I have been isolated. Hey YouTube fam, so today, you know how people be like next year I'm cutting off all my friends, next year I'm doing this, next year I'm doing that. Nah, I think I started doing that probably about mid-year, like in August. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was the type to choose friends that was kind of like fun to be around, that was lit, you know, that party, that did all types of things, that just had fun, right? They was the party animals, basically. That's the type of people that I hung around. And to me, that was life. That was like, oh my gosh, we was having so much fun. They hit me up like, hey girl, you trying to go to so and so? I'm like, yeah. I can't tell if it's blurry or not. I don't know. I hope not. Okay. So yeah, that was the type of people that I hung around. And honestly, it's just been a cycle of, you know, just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Right now, I'm 28 years old. I have a 4-year-old daughter. I'm pregnant, about to be my second child. I just got my master's degree. You know, I'm trying to finally move out of my mama's house. Yes, I'm still at my mama's house, and that's okay. I'm over here saving, and daycare is a lot of money. But anyways, I'm about to move out though, so woo. Yeah, so like I'm at a point where it's kind of like, okay girl, what is you doing? What is you really doing with your life? What do you want to do with your life? How can you better your life? How can you get your life together? Now, you know that saying, you are who you hang around? That ain't nothing but the truth. You is exactly who you hang around. Now, some people could say, I ain't that person, I ain't like that because so. No. Birds of a feather flock together, okay? So, just, you may not even realize it, but birds of a feather flock together, okay? That ain't nothing but the truth. And why? It's because it just keeps you in that loop. It keeps you in small, like, thought process of not wanting better. So basically, if you're hanging around people who aren't really trying to better their life, who is like just content with where they at, they're not trying to evolve, then it's gonna like hinder your growth. Because person and environment, which is like a person that's inside of the environment, it influences the person. Like, person and environment is like a whole thing. Like, I learned that back in undergrad for social work, y'all. But yeah, person and environment, that thing is real. Like, you are the person in your environment. So if you're trying to do better, if you're trying to be better, you're trying to think differently, you're trying to grow, you have to actually take yourself out of that environment and put yourself into a new environment. One thing that I definitely learned this year is that isolation is necessary for transformation. In order to transform into something else, you have to be able to isolate yourself, right? And something to keep in mind is change is actually uncomfortable. How do you know that you're changing? You're feeling uncomfortable. So once you start feeling uncomfortable, that means that you're actually changing, okay? And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, but yet it's like you get that queasy feeling. You get that feeling like, oh my God, like, am I supposed to really be doing this? But yes, you probably most likely are supposed to be doing this. It just feels uncomfortable. But that means that you're changing, which is also a good thing, okay? I realized that in order for me to actually elevate myself and elevate my life, I had to remove certain people out of my life. And it's not to say that those people are bad people, that they don't got nothing going for themselves. I have nothing against anyone that I removed from my life. And just because I remove them from my life, it may not even be permanently. It could be just temporarily. But that depends on how the person takes the removal. Now, if the person takes the removal as like, oh, she thinks she better than everybody, or oh, you just da 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 da, and they don't want to be back in your life, then that's on them. That is on them, baby. You can stay over there where you at. But over here, we're focused on growing. We're focused on evolving. We're focused on transforming into a grown woman. Like, we're not young kids no more. Once you reach that 28 years old, like, I'm 28 years old. I'm 2 years away from 30. I am not into none of the stuff that I was into when I was 24 years old. And it's crazy. Like, or even 25, or even 26. Like, 27 was the time where I was like, that was my last year. 27 was my last year of doing the BS. And actually, this is real quick. Let me tell y'all this real quick little testimony real quick. August 19th, I went to the spa, and I was praying in the spa. I was, meditating. I was doing all this type of stuff. Little do I know, what I learned through church was I wasn't actually praying to my God. I was praying to whatever God was in that spa, and that's why I don't go to spas no more. But whatever God that was in that spa, with who they worship, that's who I was praying to, and it wasn't my God. So anyways, I wanted to get my life together. I wanted to do this. I wanted to that. I want to this, do that. And next thing you know, the next day, something happened to me. Something traumatic happened to me the next day. And the enemy thought that it was going to break me. The enemy thought that it was going to tear me down. But it literally forced me to change my life even more and to give my life to Christ even more. But that's a story for another day. But that was when I was 27. I had just turned 27 in July. So after that had happened, I'm like, no, this is not life. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like this lifestyle. Like, something got to give. It got to give. Mind you, I'm in school. I'm getting my master's. I am not to say that I'm better than this, but I'm better than this. Like, I'm not, no. I'm a smart, educated black woman. I am beautiful. I am kind. I'm better than who I was hanging around. I don't want to say I'm better than who I was hanging around, because I can't do that. Oh, I gotta go check the chicken, y'all. I'll be back. I'm not gonna say that I'm better than who I was hanging around. I'm gonna say I have a different mindset. I have a different drive. I'm different. I'm just different. You are who you hang around, and that wasn't who I was. And I had to realize that wasn't who I was in order for me to realize that I needed to isolate myself. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with those people. There's nothing wrong with anyone. Okay? I love everyone. I love all you guys. I love the ones who still smoke. I love the ones who still curse. I love the ones who still party. I love the ones who, twerk and do all that stuff. I love all of y'all. I'm not judging anyone, because who am I to judge? I am nobody to judge. I love all y'all. I love all of them, right? It's just that that's not who I am anymore, because that's who I used to be. Definitely who I used to be. And the Bible says a person who gives their life to Christ is a new person in general. So once I gave myself to Christ last October officially, thank you, Jesus, I'm a new person. That's not who I am. I'll be the fool if I revert back to who I was. Because what? I'm over here trying to elevate. I'm over here trying to do better things. I'm over here trying to do this, and that. But then I'm going to go backwards? No, I'm just going to go forward. So, unfortunately, yes, I had to remove myself from certain environments, from certain people, from certain situations, so that I can be able to focus on what I want out of my life, basically. And I think the hardest part was the isolation part, because it got lonely. It got really lonely. It got really like, you know, the enemy was in my mind. Like, girl, you know you miss doing this. Girl, you know you missing out. Girl, you boring now. Girl, this, girl, that. But the more I stayed obedient, the more I stayed focused on my goals, the more I realized I was not missing anything, baby. Baby, I was not missing anything. I'm on a road to 6 figures, if not 7 next year. I'm not missing nothing, baby. I ain't missing nothing. That's the enemy. The enemy was in my head big time, y'all. But I had to let him know I ain't missing nothing. I do miss some people sometimes. I don't miss what we used to do, but I miss the person. Because it's all about the person, not the activities, okay? That's that on that. And yes, now I'm at a point where I feel like I can't really connect with people. Like, it's hard for me to connect with people. It's hard for me to do things with people because I'm not really into what they're into anymore. So most of the time, the isolation wasn't even me. It was just God. God isolated us. I ain't even say nothing. Sometimes I was literally texting these people like, hey girl, how you doing? Hey girl, what's up? Hey girl. They were fake. They wouldn't text back. They, you know, too busy all the time. So God separated us. I ain't even separate us. I haven't had that conversation like, hey, I need to take a step back. I ain't have to, because God did that for me, basically. I've been isolated for, it's probably going on a year. Yeah. Probably a year and a half now. Like, I got baptized in October, and that's when I kind of started by isolating myself. So about a year and two months now that I've been isolated, and I found 2 friends who are lovely friends. I found myself. I found my purpose. I found a lot of things out about myself and my inner self that I never even knew before. Like, look at me over here making YouTube videos. Like, girl, I've been wanting to do this since like back in 2014, but the enemy kept saying, girl, ain't nobody gonna watch you, ain't nobody gonna care about you, and I don't even care if I only got 17 views and 20 subscribers right now. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep doing it. So long story short, let me go check this chicken real quick. Hold on, y'all.